Hey folks, so hanging out here at the trailhead, about to go down onto one of the local trails here. I've been on this big woodland photography kick. I love woodland photography. It's a really just, if done right, it's just a really magical, mystical kind of landscape photography that you just don't kind of quite get with some of the other styles out there or other subjects out there other than the woods, I think. We're gonna go in here in a second. Still have a few minutes that I'm kind of hanging out here, and I'll tell you why in a second, but we're gonna head out and we're gonna see what we can shoot. As you can tell behind me, everything is green, so I'm gonna have to be careful not to lose my subject in a sea of green. A quick tip, the reason I'm kind of hanging out here just talking to you guys instead of walking. North Carolina is a very hot, very humid place in the summer, and for those of you that live in a hot, humid climate, that's the timer telling me it's about time to go. You know the problems when it comes to your photography, when it comes to your camera in a humid environment. You know what it's like to go outside of a nice, cool, air-conditioned, got a loud plane. I can't see it. You know what it's like to go out from a nice, cool, air-conditioned car or vehicle, and you pull out your camera and everything fogs up and you can't use it. It's also really detrimental to your camera because that condensation can actually get through even the most weather sealed camera. So a quick tip, the way to combat that, get a giant Ziploc bag. This is a 2-gallon Ziploc bag. Make sure it's completely sealed up, and then just sit your camera outside for 5 to 10 minutes. Camera still feels a little cool. So it's very similar to like when you buy a fish and they put the fish in a bag and you set the bag in the water for a few hours and you let it slowly get up to temperature, and that way it doesn't shock the fish and kill it. Well, this is the same way. It's going to bring your camera up to temperature, and then that way when you take it out, it's not going to, the humidity isn't going to shock it and create all that, what's the word, condensation. All right. So let's see if this trick works. It has before, I hope it's been sitting long enough and helped me out. Awesome, it worked. No fogging up. Great. All right, so I'm gonna put this in my bag and we're gonna head out into the woods. Let me show you what I'm looking at. All right, so I like that. I like the shape of the trees. I like the lighting. There's a lot of stuff down here as well, so I'm not 100% certain if I'm going to get it, but we're going to try it. So let me get my tripod out, and I'm probably going to use a wide angle and do this vertical and see if I can get it that way. So I don't have a second tripod, so I have to hold this. But I got my tripod set up, my camera set up. It's going to be a vertical, and got it focused in. And again, I'm going to have to really underexpose this because you got some really dark shadows on this side of the tree trunk and then really bright highlights coming down. But I'd rather underexpose it for the highlights because I can bring the shadows up a lot easier in post than I can bring the highlights down. So what I'm going to do is bracket this just to kind of make sure I have the exposure I want once I get into get back to my computer. So right now I'm at f10 ISO 100 1/25 of a second. So let's see. Got my 2-second timer set. I have a cable, but I don't want to bring that out here in the woods. There's no point. I'm not doing long exposure. That looked pretty good. Let's bring it. I'm gonna go pretty extreme here. I'm gonna do a whole 2-stop difference. That actually looks pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna move the tripod over just slightly to the right and maybe get a straight on shot and see how that looks. I don't really know. I kind of like it how it is. It's kind of sneaking out behind this bigger tree here. Let's move the tripod and see what we get. All right, that actually looks pretty good. I like that I found that, and I like the way the light was coming in. Unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately for me, we just got a dark cloud that came over, and the light that was hitting those trees, turning them into this beautiful golden color, completely took that light away. But I got the image before that cloud came up, making sure I'm not stepping on anything. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, first image in the woods this summer that I've liked. So glad I actually kept walking. I almost turned around thinking this was not going to be the trail for me because of how dense it was. Doing things, I'm going to have to get a second tripod here. Anybody has any kind of recommendations for a lightweight tripod that I can bring my vlog camera on so I can kind of set that down, please comment below. Something small but can expand a little bit more. Anyways, gonna go ahead and just keep heading up down the trail. I kind of got my hopes up now, so we'll see what we can find. So a self-critique I have for myself, I guess, is I come out in the woods trying to get woodland images, and I find a composition I'm kind of happy with, not super thrilled with. I take it, I get it home, and I can't do anything with it in post. And a lot of times I think it's because I'm not approaching it with the right mindset. And so I'm out here thinking a little differently. I've actually been thinking a lot about why I do what I do and what I'm hoping to convey with my photography. And for me, when I look at these great photographers out there, you know, I'm a huge fan of Nick Page, Thomas Heaton, Simon Baxter. Photo Tom does some really good woodland photography. When I look at their images, you know, my emotions, it brings up some kind of emotion, or it invokes my imagination, especially the woodland photography. To me, I'm kind of a nerd, kind of a fantasy nerd, and when I see their images, you know, I go into this other world type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you see these images and you just imagine some kind of Lord of the Rings situation, something like that. And I've never really thought that way. I've always just wanted to kind of get an image that people enjoy looking at, but I don't think, what are people going to think of? What are people going to imagine when they look at my image? Where I'm at right now, what I'm doing is just, it's maddening. I can't even talk. It's frustrating, beyond frustrating. I was coming around the trail, and I came across this, and I really liked it. And the sun was out behind it, and it was creating shadows from the tree in the middle of the trail, which was making a beautiful leading line. You had the other tree on the other side. Both of them have a little bit of green moss on it. It was just the tree, the leaves in the back were kind of glowing from the sunlight. I got everything out, got it set up how I wanted it, got it framed how I wanted it. Focus was dialed in. Turned this camera on to start talking to you guys about it. Went to push the button to take the shot, and a cloud covered the sun. So that's the way it goes. That's the way forest photography goes. That's the way any landscaping photography goes. It's a lot of patience, and the worst part about it is you just never know when the sun's going to go away, and you never know how long it's going to be gone when it does go away. You know, it could be 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. I mean, you never know. You just have to sit and wait and hope. And you know, I did get some images that came out a little bit, and I got some images from that I kind of liked, but it wasn't quite what it was when I originally came around this bend and saw it. So I'm going to wait here. I've walked down the trail just a little bit to see if maybe there's anything else. I really like this neck of the woods, pun intended. I really like this neck of the woods a lot. The trail, a lot of green all over the floor. I like that sapling in the middle of the trail here. These, man, what are these? These aren't pines. These are what are they, spruce, I guess, have really awesome branches. It's just I can't really see what it's going to look like until the sun comes back out, until this cloud moves. It's not supposed to be cloudy right now. That's the other, just so frustrating. As you look at the weather app says completely clear, and you get out to where you're going and massive cloud cover. Or if you're getting a sunrise or a sunset, it says that the clouds are going to be, you know, just this much coverage, which is going to make it beautiful for a sunrise or a sunset. And you get out there and there's not a single cloud in the sky. It's just the nature of the beast. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But it's funny at the same time. You just kind of get to a point where you have to laugh about it. And sigh a lot. Sigh a lot. I want this, that. There we go. Sunshine. Let's get this guy turned on. Try to get the shot. Hopefully I can get it how I wanted it. Let's see. Alright. I am not even going to pack this up in my bag. I'm going to grab my bag. I'm going to go around the bend real quick before the sun disappears. See if the next two compositions I found are going to look good in this light. And get these images. Probably just going to even leave my bag right here. Alright, let's go quickly. This is rush hour for photographers. Dun 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 dun. I need some like super epic music right now, don't I? Alright, we're gonna... Don't know if I like this one so much. Ba-ba-ba. Yeah, don't like that one. Going down a little further, more epic music. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I know that's super epic, right, guys? You are like, oh my gosh, what's this dude doing? Hopefully, no one's gonna come down the trail, grab my bag. At least I got my camera with me, but they're gonna get a couple lenses. All right, I'm gonna turn you guys off real quick. Oh, the light is not how I want it. All right, well, that was fun and dramatic. All right, let's head down a little further. I still think I'm only gonna go to the road, and then I'm gonna turn around and head back. We'll see. All right, got to the road. Didn't find any more images, at least none that I felt was worth stopping and pulling all my gear out. So turn around and I'm heading back. Now, the interesting thing about going back is that everything I saw on the way in, I'll see it again, but I'll see it from a different perspective. So I might be finding more images on the way out. We'll have to see. I'm really hungry, so I'm kind of at a point now when I see something, I'm like, is this worth stopping, pulling the pack out, or taking the pack off, pulling the camera out, pulling the tripod out? And if the image is no, then I'm not going to do it. But if there's something that really jumps out, then I'll stop and do it. But I've enjoyed this. I haven't hiked this trail in a really long time, and it's a really, really interesting trail. It goes through a lot of different types of woodland. Most of it's pretty dense. Most of it's a little claustrophobic as far as photography goes. But you see all kinds of different trees. You start out in your typical pine and poplar, sweet gum. Then you go through your pine and your cypress. I said cedar earlier, but it's not cedar. Now I'm at beech trees. Love beech trees. Beech trees are gorgeous. And beech trees, I should have brought some water with me. Beech trees make beautiful pictures in the fall. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead, turn this camera off, head back. If I come across something, I'll stop and get the picture and let you guys see it. If not, I'll wrap this up when I get back to the truck. All right, guys, so it's the next day, well rested, actually got some food in my system, drank some water. It was really stupid that I went on that trail in the middle of the summer without a water bottle. But, you know, you do dumb things sometimes. Anyways, I got the images I took in Lightroom. I took 3 images, and 2 I discarded immediately. They did not convey well from what I was looking at and what they actually turned out when I took the picture. But that first image of that tree, I really kind of enjoyed. It's not the best image out there. There's definitely a lot better, but I'm still learning this. This is still a new style of photography for me, and it came out pretty good. It's not a portfolio image. I'm not going to get it on the website to sell as a print, but I do think it's good enough to be able to share with you guys and show you guys what I captured. Again, it was a total learning experience for me. It was a trail I wasn't familiar with, and I learned a lot about the light at that time of day, shadows in that style of forest, dense forest, and so on and so forth. It's never a bad day when you get outside. It never is. When you can get out into the woods, get up into the mountains, it's just never really a failure. It's always a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and roll that image out now so you guys can see that. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification next to the channel name. That way you guys are notified for all the videos when they're uploaded. And feel free to share this with your friends on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, whatever it is. And I'll see you guys in a future video.